Sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Hey everybody, this is Steve SCOARTGLASS. Welcome to tonight's stream. We're going to do another pattern kit tonight, and we're going to get started here in just a minute. Just as I started the stream, my cat came in and decided he wants me to pet him. So where did he go? Hey, you want to say hi to everybody in the stream? Say hello. Say hello to everybody. Yeah, that's my cat, Princey. You can go out now. Sorry about that. And we're going to have a good pattern we're going to do tonight. And with everything that we've got going on, I went ahead and pre-prepped some of the items. That way we can get the full pattern done tonight. So I'm excited. If at any time you want to support the channel, you can check out our merchandise on SCOARTGLASS.com. You can also go to the link, buy me a coffee, that's down in the description. And like I said, tonight we are going to do the pattern kit for the cross with a robe. And I'm really going to like this. It's a pretty easy pattern. There's only, I think, a total of 9 pieces. And I think that anybody who's just starting out in stained glass will be able to do this pattern. Now, you can go to the website and purchase this pattern. It's going to come with one 4x4 inch piece of white and clear glass, and then one 4x4 inch piece of purple glass. But if you do prefer maybe a different color, you can put that in the comments of when you purchase the item. If you prefer the robe to be in a different color, you can do that as well. And then when you purchase that item, you have the option of purchasing the Discover, Learn, and Create project class, which is a 3-hour private group class that will hold and actually do this pattern and just talk about stained glass and get to know each other. So if you're interested in that, if you purchase those 2 together, you'll get a $10 off at the time of purchase. So let's go ahead and get into our wonderful pattern tonight. And so I did get a little bit closer tonight, so I hope everybody would like the view tonight. It is a little bit closer. I did put it up on a table, and then as I get into the soldering, I'll try and move the camera down and get a little bit closer as well. But this is the pattern we're going to do tonight, and I've already pretty much traced the pattern onto our glass. And basically all I did was just kind of align it and use my black pen and put my lines around and get it into certain areas, all my white pieces. And then what I did is I went ahead and I cut my pieces out, and I'll do a couple cuts on these pieces, kind of show you how I piece this area out, and then we'll actually hop on and show you the pieces that I've done. And we'll get into actually drawing on the purple pieces as well. So how I kind of piece this out, oh, I forgot my cutter. So I will actually take my saddle cutter, and I will actually go ahead and I will piece this out by taking and scoring a line this way through here to try and get to where I have clear cuts to the edge to where I'm not going to end up hitting another piece. So I'll take this, and like I said, I'll just go right up through here, kind of piece this out like this. And take my breaking pliers and just kind of break that away. And then now you'll be able to piece through all of these in that fashion and be able to break these off fairly easy, and pretty much all straight cuts. So it's not too complicated to break off these pieces. So what I've done already is I've went ahead and I've cut those pieces out. But what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and do our our purple pieces here. And just real quick, I just want to look see who's all in the chat right now. Looks like I got a comment here. Oh, welcome, Tina. Thanks for joining us tonight. So we are going to go ahead and draw on our purple pattern pieces. Now you might be thinking you can't see through there. You're right. I do have a light table. It's a makeshift light table, and if I put my light underneath there, well, you can't see it. I can see the pattern, but it looks like you can't see it in the camera. I don't know if by doing this, if it's going to do anything. No. Okay. So I can actually see it through the light table. So I can actually align my pieces up. And for this, I actually like to use, where did my silver go? There it goes. I actually like to use my silver Sharpie. This Sharpie on darker glass shows up a lot better, and it makes it a little bit easier for you to make your cut lines and actually grind off the excess if you have any. So I will actually just make my mark, and I will actually cut on the inside of this line when I actually do my cuts. So this is 3 purple pieces. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw these other ones because they're in a situation where I can actually go ahead and make the cuts in that area. Okay, that's going to be 7, 8, and piece number 9. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and we'll cut these pieces. We'll move that out of the way. So let me go ahead and now turn off the light, and you might be able to see it. There we go. So you'll see now that I was able to draw on my pieces. And ideally, you would probably want a thin, extra fine point Sharpie for some of these patterns. But I just know that I ran my line on the outside, so that way the inside edge would basically be right on the line. So I'll just go ahead and make my cut here. I just want to go ahead and section this off here real quick. And here. This over, out of the way. Now, what I like to do is when I have inside curves and I have a couple pieces and I got a lot of glass, I will actually do the inside curve first because it gives a better strength and support for when you're actually making those or pulling those cuts out. So, and what I like to do on inside curves, I like to make my main score mark. I had to lift up off of there. Make my main score mark. And then I will actually come back through and do a couple extra score marks on the inside. And this just kind of helps with chewing away at the inside of the curve, and it makes it a little bit easier to get it out. So I'm actually going to move this table now real quick out of our way because it'll make it a lot easier. And as I do that, you'll see that I've actually have some pieces done already for this. So I want to get my little bowl, or actually let me pull this over. A little glass. Actually, I better do the bowl because it'll be a little bit better for you to see. So your grazing pliers, I use my flat side up and just get in there and pull down and away at the same time. And it should come out fairly easy. Okay, so that got the inside out. And as you go along, you want to just make sure that you're constantly cleaning up after yourself. You don't want those little shards to get into your hand. And normally I would do this over my big bucket that I have down here, but I want you to be able to see what I was doing. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, be sure to put those into the chat, and I'll try and keep an eye on the chat tonight and answer the questions the best I can. So now we'll go ahead and cut out the rest of this. So I'm going to go ahead and take out a chunk of this. So with this particular pattern, you do have a bit of a height difference here. So it's not actually just straight across. I did that for a purpose to give an illusion, basically, that it's wrapping over the cross, vice just making a straight cut all the way across and just flat. So that was something I did on this particular pattern. To give some, I guess you could say, some dimension to it. And as we kind of make ourselves here, so again, I'm cutting on the inside of this line, so it should give me a pretty good closeness to what my pattern size is, or the piece size I need for inside there. I may have to do some grinding, but shouldn't be too much. And what I'll do is when I'm ready to grind, I will actually switch the cameras over to the grinder camera. So that way you can see how I grind these pieces. So Tina, how long have you been doing stained glass? Are you a new stained glass artist, or have you been doing it for a while? Sorry if I put you on the spot. Okay, there's that piece. And I'll go ahead and pre-cut all these since these are straight cuts. Now, sometimes, okay, that came off good. Sometimes when you have these smaller pieces and you get down to where that last edge is, I actually have another pair of smaller Grosing pliers that I'll usually grab on this side and then use my other pair here and then break it away. And it actually makes it for a little bit easier break, so that way you're not getting your hand up in there. Hopefully everybody's doing okay tonight. So I will not have a stream. Let me go ahead and put that little scrolling banner up real quick. It won't be a live stream the next 2 weeks. I am actually going on vacation. I have been itching to get out for a while, and we're finally going to do it. So I am actually very much looking forward to this vacation. Well, I'm going to put these up here for now, but I won't be throwing those away. They'll be going into my mosaic glass stuff. So now that I've got all this cut out, we're going to end up going over to the grinder, but I do want to clean up my mess here real quick. Because we're going to come back and work in this area, and I definitely don't want those little glass shards getting on me. And I'm going to lift this up just a little bit so I can get my little dustpan underneath. Getting those little shards in your hand is no fun. Okay. So now we'll do a quick little dry fit show here just to kind of see. Actually, a little bit smaller than I expected, but that's okay. That's what's great about this particular pattern. You're not trying to fit inside a particular space constraint with another piece of glass here. But if I were, then as you can see, I'd still have some space here. I could have made these just a little bit bigger. But because of the way that this sits, not a huge deal. Oh, I need to turn that around. There we go. Now we'll just press everything up in there and go. So now all we got to do now is put our go grind our pieces here, and we'll go ahead and switch over to the other camera now. Turn that banner off since everybody kind of knows that now. My mouse is not cooperating with me. There we go. All right. There we go. Seems like there's just a little bit of a delay tonight. All right, so now we are going to head over to our grinder here and do some grinding real quick. Okay, we are back now. Let me go ahead and switch back to the other camera here real quick. Okay, so now we're here, and now we've got our pieces grinded out here. And okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to move all these off of this now that I know everything kind of fits into place. And our next step is we're going to actually foil, and I am going to just hand foil everything tonight using that new hand foil. Oh, thank you, Tina, saying that's pretty. I appreciate that. And here's that hand foil that I had bought a couple weeks ago and tried out in one of the streams. So I want to try and get this going again here. It seems like I've got some catching here. I pressed down in there. That's why. So I guess it does stick if you have pressed down inside. There we go. Now it's so now I've kind of wasted a little bit, but that's okay. If you have actually pressed down in here, then it will stick. But if it's just free flowing on the inside, then it will pretty much allow you to there we go. Oh, it's twisted. That's part of the reason. Okay. Now I need to reset it here. Wow, I didn't know I was going to have this much trouble tonight with this piece. There we go. Well, I'll tell you what. Because it's twisted on me, it's hanging up. So I am going to recalibrate here and do some good old-fashioned hand foiling. So my eyes aren't that great, so I am going to do my best to get it centered. That's why I kind of use some of these machines. Well, if I hope you do order it, Tina, and I mean, like I said, you can purchase the class with it, And if you have any questions, I can answer them during the class or whatever. So that does help support the channel by purchasing these kits, and then gives you basically things to start with, especially if you're new. The hand foiler, I do like it for when it works right for me. I've been messing around with it. I'm still getting used to it. I've actually seen some other artists use it, and they seem to like it a lot. And I think it's just something you have to get used to. But I think it really centers up things very easily for you, especially if some of these smaller pieces you can't see, or your eyes aren't as good. It automatically centers it for you. So due to the fact that this piece is going to sit in and be exposed just on the outside, I'm actually going to start my foiling on the in on this, where there's going to be two seams coming together, a solder seam coming together there. So I am really going to try and get through this tonight. I was hoping, but I think we will get through most of it. And then what I'll do is I will make a finishing video of the soldering of this piece and kind of show you how it ends up. But we'll get through the foiling and burnish our foil here. Now I do have another foiler machine that I really love, especially if I have pretty decent sized pieces. These pieces would be okay. This one and this one be okay, but as you get down to some of these smaller ones, it becomes a little bit more harder. But it is this foil machine right here. So this is a table foiler, and it works really well for me. So I'll kind of show you that one as well. And it really works out pretty good. So this is going to be the bottom. So I'm actually going to start inside. Again, I like to put my overlaps where I've got a solder bead running the entire width. So that way, less chance of the foil pulling back and being exposed. So as you can see, that one was a lot easier to foil and actually a little bit quicker. Now, if you missed last week's stream, we did a daisy last week, and it's also up on the site as well. And I'll be putting more pattern kits out on the website as I get the designs made up and finished up. I've got about 3 more in development right now, and I just got to make sure that I'm going to be able to have the glass on hand to be able to cut the glass and put the kits together for people. I forgot to burnish this one earlier. How long have you been doing stained glass, Tina? This foil machine does make things go a little bit easier. And it's actually a lot less harder on your hands. For me, it is. I do have a link to this type of foiler on my website. You can check out the actual link. I believe I got it down in the description as well below. That's going to have to be hand folded. So this purple glass is just a little bit thicker. So the line's going to be a little bit smaller. A little bit of a... Gonna need to take a little bit of this and put a corner on there. I don't want it to come out uneven. There we go. And I got a little tag here. So what I like to do is use my razor knife and bring it back even again with the rest of the foil. Sometimes you can just leave them on and get them after you solder if it's still exposed. But I like to get them ahead of time. So that way I got an even line solder when it comes through. So this does do curves. If it's a pretty deep curve, this particular foiler doesn't do real deep ones, but it will do gradual curves like this. So I'm going to get it in there and let it get around. So then when you are getting those curves, I like to run my finger up and down those areas and slowly just start turning it over. Basically, you're heating up the foil as you do that, and it will curve around that a lot better without splitting on you. If you get your splits are too big, then you have to go back and really get them cleaned up because they will actually show through on your solder area. So hopefully we will get through, looks like we'll get through all the foiling and be able to do a quick dry fit on everything. And then, like I said, I will do a solder video on this and go ahead and get it released so you can see what the finished product looks like. So again, I got a little bit of a tag over here. So I like to try and get that stuff off ahead of time. So the last couple pieces, because these are a little bit too small, I'm going to have to do a quick hand foil on those. Yeah, I need to run that back around. Or actually, yeah, that'll be okay. I think I should have started on my flat side up there. So I do have an artist spotlight interview coming up. I am working with the creator to set a final date, but it looks like it's going to be at the end of July. Really excited about this particular artist. I've been following her for some time, and she is really, really good and very smart in this realm, in stained glass and painting glass and all the different techniques and styles using glass. So really excited for this interview, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy her. And so So that's coming. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, ensure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you will get notified when the date is set for this and for the artist spotlight interview, especially this one coming up, and when I load new content to the channel. I try and stream every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If there's a spotlight interview, that'll be in its place unless I have to make some accommodations for the creator in order to fit their schedule, and then I will adjust that accordingly. And then I may not have a live stream at that time that week. I am trying to do artists from around the world. And that's why I have to sometimes adjust the artist spotlight interview times. And one last piece here. All right, that will complete all of these pieces. Get all this stuff out of the way. All right, now do the final burnishing of this piece. And there we go. Move this out of the way. And we'll put her together. So we kind of know that these pieces are like this. This one goes over here. This one goes over here. Actually, I think, yeah, I need to flip that over. Wrong spot. And then this can go right up in here. Aligned here. Gotta get my which way? I think I got it on the wrong side here. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And then we can piece here, and the larger piece is this way. Okay, and that's just a little sun catcher for tonight. I'll do a quick solder on it, tack it all together later, and put that video out. Well, actually, it should come out while I'm gone, so I'll just go ahead and get it taken care of. And thank you for joining us tonight, and hopefully you enjoyed the content tonight. Again, it's just a pretty simple cross with robe pattern. It's available out on our website. And with that, thank you for joining tonight, and I'll see you on the next stream.